Richard Childress just made a call that split the NASCAR fan base right down the middle. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. is stepping in to explain why he thinks it was the right one. Here's what's really going on with the number 33 car heading into 2027. And hey, real quick, if you are a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation news is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. So here's the news. RCR has announced that Austin Hill will stay in the number 33 Chevrolet full-time in the Cup Series for 2027. Now, to understand how Hill even got in that car, you have to go back to May 21st. That's when two-time Cup Series champion Kyle Busch passed away suddenly. In response, RCR moved from the number 8 to the number 33 and put Hill behind the wheel. Since then, Hill has run 13 races in that car. His results? 2 top 20 finishes, with his best outing being an 18th place run at Pocono. But here's the thing. Hill isn't just a Cup Series guy right now. He's still running full-time in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series in the number 21 RCR Chevrolet, and he's been solid there. The 32-year-old has already won 2 races in 2026 and sits 7th in the point standings. Now let's get to what Dale Earnhardt Jr. actually said about all this. On a recent episode of the Dale Jr. Download, Earnhardt Jr. talked about the wild feedback that came in after RCR made this announcement. And a lot of that criticism centered on one thing. Why didn't Childress sign Josh Berry instead? Berry is currently without a ride for 2027. However, Earnhardt Jr. said people need to think about the history here. Hill has been with RCR since 2022, and he's a 16-time winner in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. That's not nothing. Here's how Earnhardt Jr. put it. Even if you don't feel like he's earned it, I think you've got to understand that this guy has been working in that building. They have created a relationship of trust and value. They're just like Austin Hill, and you're not going to throw away the relationship that you have and all of the years and equity invested on the chance that you bring Josh in and it works. You know, Earnhardt Jr. even put himself in Childress's position. He said if he were starting a Cup Series team today, he'd call Josh Berry immediately. But then he brought up an interesting comparison. He mentioned Justin Allgaier, who's raced for JR Motorsports since 2016 and won the NOPS Championship in 2024. Earnhardt Jr. said he'd have to weigh keeping Allgaier the same way Childress had to weigh keeping Hill. I think Josh would have been a great hire. If I had a Cup team, I would call Josh Berry today to go racing. I also know that I would have to consider Justin Allgaier for that seat because Justin's been here for all these years. He's done all these things we've asked him to do, so that's similar to Austin Hill and RCR. Earnhardt Jr. said, and that's when things get personal for Earnhardt Jr., he's got a real connection to Berry. Before Berry moved up to Cup in 2024, he actually drove for JR Motorsports in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, picking up 5 wins and a best points finish of 4th back in 2022. So as much as Earnhardt Jr. would have loved to see Berry land an opportunity, he said he still would have been shocked if Childress cut Hill loose. While I would have been happy that Josh Berry, as a Josh Berry fan, I would have been happy that Josh was getting an opportunity, I would have said, damn, I can't believe they just cut Austin Hill. I think they did the right thing, especially for them, Earnhardt Jr. said. Now, RCR didn't stop there. Along with locking in Hill for the Cup side, they also confirmed their O'Reilly Auto Parts Series lineup for 2027. Current Craftsman Truck Series driver Chandler Smith will take over the number 21 car, and 18-year-old Carson Brown will run the number 2 car. So that's the full picture on RCR's 2027 plans. Now I want to hear from you. Do you agree with Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s take on why Childress kept Austin Hill over signing Josh Berry? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to NASCAR Nation News. We'll see you in the next one.